Evening, everybody. It's Friday night. It's 9 p.m., give or take. Welcome to What's on Joe Mind. Got the full crowd in the house tonight for this special Cobra Convergence episode of the program. But lots of news to get through. We'll be right back with you after you listen to our kick-ass theme song. All right, folks. For the third time this week, it's time for What's on Joe Mind. Holy cow, we're on camera a lot this week.
Yeah.
But that's okay. We're a fan cast about the world of G.I. Joe. I'm your host, Mike Irizarry, and joining me this evening, she's finally back with us after like having a job saving the world and crap. We accidentally twinned this week. We're both wearing our Skeletron t-shirts. She's the co-hostess with the co-mostess. The queen of G.I. Joe cosplay. It's Joe Colton, everybody.
Hi, everybody.
Joe Colton, how you been?
Friday.
We see you've gone and ranked up for us.
Yes, it's important. I have to represent.
But how'd your week go?
You know how sausage is made?
That good, huh?
I know it's tasty, but I know I don't want to.
Tastes good.
It's great.
We don't need to.
I'm really happy it's Friday.
Right. We don't need to know the legal percentages of lips and assholes that are going
in
into
DC.
that.
Probably a lot.
Yeah.
Lately in DC, it's been all a-holes. But anyway.
I think the question on everybody's mind is, did your Thor costume get completed in time?
It did. Wes did not have faith. I would like to point this out. He did not have faith, but I made it on time to the second premiere. Both premieres, actually. He came to the first one. The second premiere, he got an infection in his eye, so he like sat it out because he's on 2 antibiotics. But he was like, "You're not going to make it. I don't know what happens." And I was like, "I made it on time. The costume was complete, and I wore it at the premiere."
Excellent. And we don't think that we haven't noticed that, this week has resulted in you flipping your station around so that the wine within easy reach.
Right.
So I could show you like the mess that's like over here. Haven't cleaned up.
I assume there are breastplate trimmings all over the place over there.
Yes, and like gloves.
Now the question is, are the trimmings soft?
And was
yes, they are. Yes, they are.
Simple question with no spoilers. Was your costume better than the movie?
No. I'm going to upgrade my chest armor.
Okay.
Because there's a lot of little pieces that when the pattern was made wasn't seen. And so there's little details that I want to upgrade. So
I bet Wes wants to add a bunch of rivets to it because I know that's his thing.
He's like, I want no part of this. Oh, thank you.
Joe was the original female Cobra officer. They made a figure.
They did.
Yeah.
I have said figure.
I mean, eventually.
Okay.
They
have the officer helmet on.
Oh, now we're talking.
Yeah.
They did marry Mercenary first, didn't they?
Yeah, that's true, actually.
Yes.
If she didn't have a scarf on her face.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which would be pointless.
Yeah, the tooler was like, we made two, a blonde and a brunette, and I was like, clearly.
Yeah. Mary's cosplay is actually more accurate than the figure, which is sad, but not sad. Not sad for her, anyway. But.
Yes. She and I made those together. It was great. I think we were the first ones to make those.
No, maybe. Joining me in the top row, he's the former head of the G.I. Joe marketing effort at Hasbro. Now he just hangs out with us.
That's it.
Honcho Mark Weber.
And I broke free. Look at me. I'm back home, downstairs, healthy. Appreciate everybody who wished me well. It wasn't too bad. It was 2 days of zombie web, and you got me at the tail end of it last Friday. But kind of broke on Saturday. Sunday still dragging a bit. But Monday on July 4th, I was good to go. So it went through the whole Weber family except for Derek, who avoided it by basically holding up in his room, and we would shove food under the door like a prisoner or something. But he's got a camp coming up on Sunday, and any kind of COVID for him would have completely submarined that. So
did you have Kramer come by with the deli slicer and slide some lunch meat
right?
under the door for him?
No, but a new chicken place went up next door with a neon sign that's keeping Derek up at night.
Oh,
so
man.
We gotta get that nipped in the bud. But
yeah.
But it looks like he made it through. So he'll be up to camp, want to be a bad guy or whatever on Sunday. So good.
I'm just thinking, you pop the corner of a Twinkie under there and just kind of shove it through with the plunger or something.
Figure you get a Twinkie in through the keyhole if you push hard enough, right?
Yeah.
A lot of Salisbury steak for Derek this week. Sliding it under the door.
Any flat thing.
There's a gravy stain on the
That's pretty much it on the bottom of the cat keeps licking the bottom of the door. That's fine.
Mushroom gravy all on this door.
And down bottom right, he's our comic book expert, everyone. It's Rack Time, Rob.
Hello.
Still waiting on any new episodes of Rack Time.
Yeah.
He's waiting for the Dead Game hardcover.
Yeah, the Dead Game director's cut.
Yeah,
where they discover the plot,
as opposed to the original release, the Dead Game hard reader.
Yeah,
right. Dead Game was actually bad enough that Rack Time Rob is experiencing PTSD. Right.
Both bad.
Every time he picks up a book.
Both bad.
I discovered that I qualified for the National Merit Scholarship.
Hey. Hooded Cobra Commander 788 says he can tell you what order you're supposed to read the word balloon.
Mm-hmm. You start in the back and you go back to front in an inverted Z pattern.
Right.
That's the correct way to read it.
Right.
So you read Image in the 90s too, huh?
Right. I just know that Neo Tokyo is about to explode.
It's always about to explode.
And Neo Tokyo for you.
They built it on an active volcano.
It's not a good idea. Keeps Godzilla around though.
Right.
Oh yeah.
Or is that Neo Godzilla?
You want to keep him happy.
Pretty much, right?
Keep him happy. Anyways, if you're joining us on Facebook tonight, go ahead and give us some kind of a reaction. Give us a thumbs up. Give us a heart. Give us a little huggy guy. We love little huggy guy. If you're watching us on YouTube, go ahead. Like the video. Subscribe to the channel. That's the thing you can do to help us out the most. Like, subscribe, and just watch all of our stuff. Because we've been doing this for a while. Let's go ahead and let's pump those numbers up. We picked up some new folks this week. Welcome if you haven't watched us before. If you're watching it with us every week, welcome. Thank you for continuing to join us, despite the 2-bit slime show we continue to present.
And if you're new, we don't always do 3 shows a week. That's not the norm. But
I mean, you've set the bar.
Yeah.
Hey.
Don't get used to it.
Right.
Yeah, come August, we got lives, people.
We got one, and then maybe if there's a second, it's usually a lot shorter. So it's pretty rare that there's 3 legitimately length outings from this group. Even if we are usually running with short Joe Colton, who's literally saving the world for freedom.
Mm-hmm. Or spying on Trinidad.
Or spying on Trinidad.
Or winning drift races in Mississauga.
Correct.
Or competitive eating contests in Medicine Hat.
Huh.
Something like that.
And Kamloops. Always like Kamloops. Shout out to Kamloops.
What do you say we get to the community calendar?
Ooh.
There's a Comic-Con or a toy show. What's on your mind? Wants to know? Tell Mike, Mark, and Joe. Community calendar.
There it is. You see there's the email. If you know about a show, go ahead and send it on into us, because there isn't a whole lot of time to research this stuff without you. So we really do appreciate the tips. So anyways, first up is a blank slide.
Here we go.
This weekend, it's the return of Tampa Toy Con. Saturday and Sunday, July 9th and 10th. Thanks to Brad Glynn for tipping us off on this one. Saturday only, Mark Weber. Get yourself down there.
Right?
And see Ed Leslie himself, Brutus the Barber Beefcake.
Can he bill himself as Brutus the Barber Beefcake?
Yeah, I mean, I guess he can't. They can't stop him.
I mean, who could, really?
Truly.
Other than that one parasailing guy.
And of course, Hogan at Starcade 94.
Oh, that's true.
Or 95.
That was Zodiac, though, I think. Totally different.
No, that was the Butcher.
Oh, the Butcher.
That was the Butcher. That was... Okay. Look, I'm not taking away from Ed Leslie as a talented undercard.
No.
But doesn't belong in the main event scene. Not ever.
I can't remember another guy who was more torpedoed by not being able to use his WWE name. Right? He had like 9 after that, and none of them took. So I feel bad for Bruce.
I guess I think it was more he kept getting gigs because he was tight with Hogan.
Yeah,
so they kind of plug him into whatever Hogan needed him to be. You gonna be a low rent villain? Yeah. Gonna be a low rent sidekick? Yeah. Okay, whatever.
Hey man, still rent.
Check's a check, man. Check's a check. He's a professional. I'm not making fun. He's a pro. We got comments. I apologize. I'm lagging a lot tonight. So
you are.
I am. It's not good.
It's at hotel Wi-Fi.
Really,
Not hotel Wi-Fi.
I mean, everybody ought to check out our Tuesday night show, if only to see how we survived bad hotel Wi-Fi connections. It's a masterclass in getting a show done around technical difficulties.
I liked it when our guests started dropping and you would just go right to the sponsor, right? Because generally they were back fast. So
yeah, they had it down. It was by no means. I mean, Josh and Roger, they had it as under control as they could get it.
Yep.
It just you can't help it if the hotel's Wi-Fi is just going to cut out on you. But
if it was totally smooth, at least one of them was super smooth, where they finished a sentence, dropped off, and you said, "We'll be right back after this word from our sponsor." Right. Boom! It was just like it was on a rundown or something. Guys drop off for 50th time.
That's right.
Tease, hit the spot.
I'm an old radio guy, Mark. You know how that goes.
I like it.
You know how that goes. But also this weekend, it's BATS, Butler Area Toy Show. That is tomorrow, Saturday, July 9th, in Lindora, Pennsylvania. General admission $5. Kids 12 and under, free with adult. Thanks to Matt Rubin for letting us know. Lord knows there's a lot going on in
Mm-hmm.
Pittsburgh, or so Matt Rubin would have us believe, because we hear about all of it. The man's
just not baseball.
Just not decent baseball. Although they did split with our Yankees this week.
Yeah.
They did take 1 out of 2. So
not in the aggregate.
No,
that second game was a little one-sided.
Yeah.
It was 10-0 in the 8th inning, and I turned it off. And then apparently, the game was still going an hour later. I said to Rob the next day, they kept scoring.
When they hit their second homer off the Pirates' second baseman,
right?
The Pirates' call of it is awesome. It's just crack, and the guy is like, "Come on!" They broke his soul. It hurt him more than the second baseman because he was like, "Hey, what are you gonna do?"
Yeah, you don't care.
Yeah.
That's not going into his arbitration hearing.
Nope.
Southwest Pennsylvania, not just the Burgh. Well, sorry, but it's all Pittsburgh to us, man.
Nice park, though.
Yeah.
Yeah. Beautiful park.
Look good, all filled up with Yankee fans.
Right.
Look like Tampa, kind of. Except for the
Fenway
full-
looks a
except
little
for the
bit like
full
that
part.
tonight.
Yeah, Fenway's a toilet. Oh.
No. I mean, there's a lot of Yankee jerseys in the stands tonight.
Yeah.
I'm just saying.
I've only been to Fenway once. That was enough.
You
What
can
a
see the
man.
glaze forming over Joe Colton's face right
What
now.
a hole. Anyway, moving on.
All right, and also the most well-defined calves in comics will be on
Rosa
display
Mendes.
at Waynesburg Toy and Comic Expo. As Jason Keith will fight Rosa Mendes in that
Right.
night's main event. No, they will not fight.
Not being snarky. Where is Waynesburg?
It's in Southwest Pennsylvania, or
Okay.
perhaps around the Berg, because it came from Matt Rubin.
Okay.
So, again, and Joe Colton will vouch for the size of Jason Keith's calves. She's laughing. It's that embarrassing.
Does he wear shorts like 24/7 to show them off, or what's he
Yes.
doing?
No, but he does. Well, at the con, he was wearing pants, and then it got really hot, so he had to change into shorts. But yep,
So that he flexed his calves, and the bottom, they just exploded.
exploded. Yeah.
He's
Ripped out
Capzilla.
like Lou Ferrigno pants.
Yeah, just busted out there. And then we also have on Sunday, July 10th. I finally fixed the date on the third week.
Well, that's good.
It's the Toy Man Show in the Machinist Hall of Bridgeton, Missouri, just outside of beautiful St. Louis. 7 times a year, man. They fill up a 2-story building full of toy vendors, and it's amazing. It just, from all eras, going back to the 20s and 30s through today. If you're around St. Louis, get yourself to Toy Man Show. It's worth the trip. $5 admission, $12 early bird, just an hour early. That's where the deals take place. That's
Get
where
yourself some of that bad St. Louis pizza. What did I get?
wheeling and dealing.
What's the bad St. Louis pizza I tried?
The bad St. Louis pizza is Emo's.
Emo's, yeah.
It's
Avoid
terrible.
it. Yeah. Not
Fake cheese.
not good.
Yeah, no.
A town with a pronounced Italian history.
There's plenty of good pizza to be had in St. Louis. It's just not at the place famous for St. Louis pizza.
Right.
It's the weird dichotomy of St. Louis, Missouri. Oh, and that's it for community calendar. So I guess I gotta play the thing one more time so that we can see the weird Joe Colton picture.
In distress.
Right.
There's a Comic-Con or a toy show. What's on Joe mind? Wants to know. Tell Mike, Mark, and Joe. Community calendar.
That look on Joe's face, it looks like she's angry and confused why the camera person isn't helping. Either
I was very.
saving her or helping pull the shoe.
I thought I told you to get the cooking spray so we could spray this shoe off my ankle.
Mm-hmm.
Then you got ankles that smell like Pam, and nobody needs that.
Well, if it's butter flavor.
Ooh.
Fake butter. It's no good. Yeah, apparently, just as we got started today, Chrome is trying to update. So, pardon
That's
me.
not good.
Yeah, pardon me if I get laggy at some point today, because that's not good. Because when you're the guy who's running the
Right.
yeah, that's a bad situation.
Yeah, that's like only one person in the car is sleepy, but it's the driver.
Right.
We'll be
It's
okay.
bouncing off the walls, but
Yeah.
yeah, the driver's got a couple of Dramamines in him. He's
Yeah.
he's fine.
Mark, Rob, and Joe are super razor sharp, but Mike's fading at the wheel.
Good Lord.
Well, there he goes.
I'll just stop and sit real still mid sentence.
I gotta go out and poke him.
Try to have his terrible face frozen on my head.
From the architectural setup, which I don't have a good grasp on, if let's say a giant scorpion started attacking Mike, Rob, which direction would you have to go to help him?
Let's see. I would have to go. Well, according to this, that way.
Do you have to go out that door and down to get him?
Well, the door that's directly behind me is the closet.
Oh, okay.
But next to that is my bedroom door, and then I go down the hall and then slip out the door as a giant scorpion devours Mike.
Okay, I'm just saying.
Because I'm not equipped for giant scorpions.
No, and we have an understanding that if a giant scorpion is devouring me, it's going to be here a while, so take advantage of the time.
I am really graded only for sea bass with laser beams stripped to their foreheads.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
And they are ill-tempered, but that's as far as I go.
It's excellent that he upgraded to getting that laser thing attached to his certification.
Elizabeth has never seen any Austin Powers movies, but this week she said, maybe I'll be a lawyer. And I said, an evil lawyer? And she had no idea why that was funny. But
I would show her the first one and then just say, yeah, there were two others.
Yeah, she's not quite ready for that. We'll get there.
Yeah.
Stranger Things. That's Elizabeth's jam right now.
Oh.
So she's getting caught up.
I've never watched a full episode of that.
I dig it because the four kids are growing up in a small town. Well, Indiana, right? But they were 10 in 1983, and I was 10 in 1983. So it is.
But weren't.
It is dead on for me.
We weren't that age in Indiana.
Mm.
We were that age on Long Island.
Right. I was that age in Oregon, but they're in a small town, so riding your bikes out at night and playing D&D with your friends, it's
we were in a small town, relatively speaking.
Right.
Relatively speaking. Joe Colton, what happened? Where'd the helmet go? All right, fair enough. She's muted. She's trying to. You don't have to.
No.
You don't have to put it on.
Now we're talking. Drunk officer. That's all it should look.
Again,
Sure.
wine.
Officer on leave.
Right here.
Staggering back for the weekend pass.
So anyways, it's time for the news. There we go. Give her a minute to get herself unmuted there. As you saw on Tuesday night when we helped Josh and Roger close up the After Action Report Kickstarter, they've been funded for a long time. They funded in something like 48 hours. They had a $7,000 goal. They wound up at $20,673 from 251 backers. So excellent job, gentlemen.
Yeah.
If you missed out, I believe that they will have copies available on their website, afteractionreport.com. They do have copies of Volume 1 available at afteractionreport.com. And so after the time comes when they're through and they've done all their signings and their extras with After Action Report Volume 2, I'm sure they will make that extra copies available on the site there as well. But for now, you must wait.
Yeah, and if you're wondering why all the guys we have on with Kickstarters always fund like crazy, it's because we don't put on the guys who we're not going to fund. Like, nah. We got a streak going, man. But we need the help. Nah.
Oh, no, we're with the push, man.
Spoilers for a minute from now.
In fairness, as Carson said on Wednesday, we're kind of on a run where our folks, our friends that have Kickstarters, like we even get them early, but it's already over.
Yeah.
Right. Like we had Skeletron on and Ben Conway on from Skeletron the day after that campaign started.
Yeah.
And it already didn't matter.
Yeah.
Like we were right on top of that one. We couldn't have cut it any closer.
Mm-hmm.
Didn't matter. So I like to think that we are totally responsible for all of the Kickstarter success.
And we made sure to get Carson on as he launched.
Right.
So we could take a lot of credit for what was surefire going to be a quick funding.
Good thing, too, with the rate it was going.
Yeah. I think that's, in fairness, it was probably half him. And the rest, I mean, come on.
60-40.
Yeah.
Yeah, 60-40.
I absolutely believe he would have funded if he'd have gone on somebody else's podcast. Probably.
Yeah, but not in 8 hours. Probably would have been more like 12.
Yeah. He was getting funded while the West Coast was asleep.
Right.
Yeah.
Right? It was a Skeletronian performance.
Phil Donnelly, no.
Yeah, Phil Donnelly was up early in that was it the early bird Disneyland line? But we were still funded. And I say we because we're taking a lot of credit for that.
Sean Russell says the Star Wars HasLab guys need us bad.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, they called. Not happening. But Reva and her
What's on
saber.
Jabba's mind doesn't quite have the sound to it.
I don't know.
I'd kind of want to know what's on Jabba's mind.
Yeah,
Oh,
probably.
Wookiee solo.
Oh, say Jedi. Oh.
Next news item.
Doot, 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 doot.
And so, yeah, congratulations again, Josh Eggebine and Roger Taft.
Absolutely.
And great show on Tuesday. Struggling through with us with some stuff out of your control. But
Yeah, but they moved to the top of the leaderboard.
right, go back.
They've
Check that.
been on the show more than anybody else, like 54 times.
Came on the show 60 times at least.
Yeah.
And of course, we've already started talking about it. On Wednesday morning, we were back with Operation Recall to help Carson kick off. And they surpassed their $120,000 minimum goal in about 8 hours. So you can head on over. You don't have to worry about this one getting funded. It's funded. And we are now into stretch goals. You can see the hashtag down below. Hashtag Let's Go Stretching. We're going to throw that up every time we give an Operation Recall update. But be sure to check out Wednesday's episode. That is special edition number 77 for all the details. We go into a pretty deep run on what's going on with Operation Recall there and the history behind it and why it's set up the way it's set up and all that other good stuff. So, yes, that is a shameless plug for ourselves. You can also always go to Kickstarter, type in Operation Recall. And you'll get the campaign itself right there, but that's got 100% less rack time, Rob. So why bother? Why bother? Should make that your second stop after watching Special Edition 77.
Currently sitting at $165,209 and 437 backers.
There we go. I didn't even have a chance to kick over to him for the tote board. I got to figure, you know what we need to do? We need to go find some of the footage of the old Jerry Lewis telethon so we know exactly how that transition happened. We've since the days of for 10, 11 years now, we've been all about aping things from times gone by.
Oh, yeah.
So, yes, we need to figure out exactly how Jerry Lewis threw it to his tote board, guys.
Well, I know he would catch it. He'd normally be in a rumpled velour or satin tuxedo with the tie undone.
Something in a powder or royal blue.
Yeah. No, he normally did black, but it was,
I mean,
And
there would be a ruffled shirt.
In the background, you could see Dean Martin's feet on the ground pointed straight up, just helping out.
Beta Ray Bob asks, who's going to have the better crotch, call sign Longbow or Operation Recall? They are being engineered similarly. So the understanding is that Operation Recall will be similarly thick in the crotch, bro.
If not, it'll just have to be settled with a crotch off.
Like most beachhead collectors.
It's a crotch
there
off.
aren't any others. There's just me. That's it.
You don't get outbid? You get outbid because you have strict rules, right?
I get outbid all the time.
Yeah, so there's other beachhead collectors.
Yeah, but they only have one.
Well, yeah. I'm not saying on the tote board.
They're not so much collectors as so much as they're just trying to get their one before I get them all.
Right. Before you corner the market and start selling them for $500 each.
Right.
You're beachhead pharma bro.
Ouch.
No, there's a guy who did that with baseball cards, right?
Mm-hmm.
He did it with the Mantle rookie year, and he started collecting like the least valuable card in that set. But a lot of people want to collect that whole set, and they can't do it without Joe Slobotnik. And he's got 20,000 Joe Slobotnik cards. So good luck finding one.
He cornered the market on the 52 tops Joe Slobotnik.
Yeah, but then he would sell them for like $100 because you got to have it if you're going to complete the set. And nobody kept the loser cards, right?
No, those were all at baseball, bicycle spokes.
Man, smart guy. Anyway.
Joe Schlabotnik, Charlie Brown's favorite ball player. For
That's
the record.
it.
Mark threw that one out there. Didn't think anybody'd catch that one, but oh no.
I know what's up.
Oh no. Next news item.
Do, 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 do.
Before Joe Colton glazes over again. It's time for some Hasbro Pulse HasLab classified His Tank updates.
It's a Tank Kitty.
I love Tank Kitty.
He's so pissed.
Tank Kitty will always have a home in our newscast.
Joe, how would you describe the emotional state of said cat in the photo?
Pissed off.
That's it. He's about to go. He's trying to figure out if he can leap through that hole or not.
It looks to be a little bit more grim determination, like Telly Savalas in the Battle of the Ball.
I think that cat's just understands that he's got a cannon, and he's
willing to use it.
I think that cat has lost the Battle of the Bulge, and he's about 50 pounds underneath what we can see. So
perhaps
he grew into that box.
That's not
like
wrong.
a square watermelon.
I'm not going to go out and say that that's wrong, but it's certainly a possibility.
I'm not judging him. I'm just saying.
Yeah. Look, I mean, if I had owners that were willing to build me an Amazon box tank, I'd go sit in the tank. If I were a cat, so it'd be a little awkward as a person. But they'd have to really reinforce that cardboard. But, anyways, I love Tank Cat. So, anyways, we've had some stretch goals unlock, and we knew about some of these last week, but it happened. Well, I didn't get pictures in the thing, so whatever. We'll get some pictures in there now. Anyway, stretch goal 1 happened at 10,000 backers for the Hasbro H.I.S.S tank, and we got some side-mounted missile launchers, which look pretty cool. You can see them on the tank in the bigger picture, and then by themselves over to the left here. Then we got stretch goal 2 was the clear canopy and the tread guards. I don't necessarily need the clear canopy, but those tread guards are pretty cool. Kind of gives it that version 1 vibe. I'm down with it.
People did point out if you're getting more than one, this is a much more exciting stretch goal because now you can make them look different if you choose.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay.
Look, I don't have a problem with the stretch goal. At any point, any stretch goal is fine. This thing funded we got enough backers for this thing in 8 hours. So clearly the stretch goals were not the reason why people want the Hasbro H.I.S.S. So I think the quality of them and the criticisms that are being levied are a little out of control.
I was worried that one of them was just going to be blast effects, and that people were going to be really mad about that.
Yeah, well, you know what? If it's all blast effects, maybe that's kind of a dud, but it's a bonus, right? The bonus.
At least it wasn't Bag of Joe Bones.
That's it.
So that's where we were at as of last week's show, and we're all in, we're all on fire about it at that point, and then comes stretch goal number 3. Holy cow! They sent us another figure.
Mm-hmm.
So we got machine guns, we got the big chin gun, and then we've got the H.I.S.S tank gunner, which is basically a female H.I.S S driver.
Did not expect that.
No. She's got extra fighting hands too. They gave her the same gun loadout. They got a pickaxe and a shovel in there for all that extra tank duty stuff. Yorktown Joe points out bonus points to Rob for predicting the gunner. No prizes awarded to those who predicted. There's no way they would add an 83 commander to the stretch goal.
Actually, that's an 82 commander that they added to the stretch goal.
Right. We'll get to him in a minute.
Yeah.
But let's get it. Stay in control, man. Stay in control. So, Mark Weber, you're a former Hasbro guy. Talk to us about these stretch goals.
I mean,
stretch goal.
Yeah, this one in particular. I mean, we all wanted another figure, and bear in mind that you are getting 2 to start with, right? Because the tactician was unlocked on the original,
right?
Because of the strength of the original bit. So this is figure 3. No one, I don't remember, fully called that it would be a female trooper. And there are a lot of people online who think that this sculpt, at least, torso and arms, is maneuverable enough that it could be used to make different kinds of female troopers down the road.
Mm-hmm.
So the fact that you're getting a third figure and that it's largely a new sculpt, if not entirely a new sculpt, is a pretty good bit. And I like that the gunner is in the same deco style as the driver. It makes them look like a duo or a team. And then it makes the tactician, who originally I thought, well, he'll just be my gunner no matter what color he ends up being. Now he can actually sit in the jump seat in the back, which is a cooler setup. So to add a full figure that's new, I think, if not totally new, damn near totally new, that's a really good stretch goal. And the fact that they made it female is fantastic. And look, you can define your own toy, right? If you think she's more driver than gunner, then put her in the cockpit and put the guy in the back. That's fine too.
Right.
Or
she's dressed like a driver. She can drive.
If you're buying more than one, then you got Battle of the Sexes, baby. And you can have dude hiss on one side and girl hiss on the other. And probably watch the guys storm into combat way too irrationally and get blown up. And then the girls clean up after him and take care of the actual battle.
Tank crew rigs and tank crew king.
Yeah. That's it. That's it. That bonus chromosome isn't always an advantage. So, but I dig this. This is full of wind. The chin turret also is great. I wasn't feeling the extra guns for the gunner spot because you only got two hands. But whatever.
Different guns for different purposes. If you wind up having some close combat situations, those little machine guns are going to be a lot more useful than the big cannons. So
I guess I like the missiles on the side are great and the chin cannon are great because there's nothing there, right?
Yeah.
But this felt like when I was a kid, we would take Funtac and all the Joe's weapons, and we would road warrior up a Vamp Mark II or a Stinger Chief. Just guns everywhere, right? And that's kind of what it felt like when you add two different, 30 caliber machine guns next to the giant cannons on top of the turret, to me.
Agent Chuckle says, Girl Hiss, I saw them play CBGBs in 93.
Right? They were awesome.
Fantastic.
Did you catch the comment below?
Andrew Galgan, Girl Hiss opening for brutal chest cut at Coachella.
Funny how that's not evident at all here, huh? I mean, I know it's a digital render and all, but
yeah.
Joe Colton, what you think?
I like it. I did not expect it, but I like it a lot. And I like that she comes with like different weaponry. I like the hands. She looks great. Simple, but a nice surprise.
I do like that she comes with the MMA gloves, just like the guy does.
Oh yeah.
Like that's a really good point. And if they'd missed on that, I think a lot of people would have been really upset, and rightly so.
I would have been upset.
Absolutely, right?
I am a lot of people.
That's up in there.
There's a whole lot of people up in there.
It's kind of a rogue thing, right? I tend to think every costume you've ever worn owns a slice up here somewhere.
Oh, probably.
Phil Donnelly wants to know, Joe, getting that cosplay ready now?
I did think about it when I saw it. I was like, ooh, that's new.
Of course you thought about it when you saw it.
I need the figure in hand, like from a rendering to like what actually will be produced might not look exactly the same. So
that's true, but if I know you at all, Joe Colton, you're already looking for those boots. You're already like that. That by itself says, if I can do this, I'm going to do this.
Yeah, I'll probably do it.
I remember
I might get the shovel though. I might do
the shovel.
The shovel's an easy part, right?
That's probably pretty easy to find. Not a lot of prefabrication on that.
Right.
I just remember you talking about the internal temperature of your Serpentor outfit.
Yeah.
And the fact that this is full body suit with giant thigh boots, a breastplate, and a fully face covering helmet.
So
I'm thinking this is Alaska Con, right? This is
almost my Baroness, except for the fully covered helmet. That's like the Baroness plus the Viper helmet.
Right.
But Neil Hill says, "You said you wanted guns for your guns, dog." No.
Yeah.
We said we wanted guns for our guns, bro.
Yeah, bro.
You want guns for our guns, bro?
Dogs can't shoot guns, bro. No opposable thumb, idiot. Raccoons totally shoot guns, bro.
Oh yeah,
It pains in the
raccoons
ass.
will
bro.
shoot guns on Long Island.
That's why you banish raccoon to Shadow Realm, bro.
It, and then, of course, as we saw, and this by the way, they have passed this on the backer. We are past 14,000 backers, so this is in. And here's a nice shot of the HISS tank with both the side missile launchers and the chin gun and the little extra guns. We don't have the HISS gunner in there, but whatever. We kind of know how that's going to work.
No driver either, bro.
Yeah.
No, it's just waiting in the garage.
Who's driving? Chico is driving.
No, she did.
No.
Oh, she not dead.
Nope.
Yeah, time to install a fan in that helmet, perhaps. Look into that one, Joe Colton. See if you can get one of those little hand fans and just.
I'm
Yeah,
thinking-
Fan out of a laptop and see
They
if you can
have
run it.
fan helmets for like people who do like the Star Wars costumes. So, but they're loud. Like you can't hear anything in there. Then
And I'm thinking
Scout
small fan near long hair. There's a good
What
chance
could
that
go
ends
wrong?
badly.
Raccoon Viper would be the deadliest Cobra Trooper.
That's
Damn
fine.
straight.
Would have the most active thumb, I guess. I don't know. Well, that brings us to stretch goal 4, which will get hit at 16,000 backers.
mm-hmm.
And this is a retro collection carded Mickey Mouse Cobra Commander. I didn't think they were going to go this big. And I'll be honest with you, I think they decided last minute to go this big. But anyways, we'll get reactions first. Racktime Rob, what do you think? As the man who called a Cobra Commander last week, what do you think?
I'm thinking this is if you're going to do Cobra Commander, this is the right way to go. Because the Mickey Mouse, like I said, it's a variant. It's an homage to the first couple Cobra Commanders they threw out there, the way they didn't have time to put a proper paint job on back in the day, and it's not going to kill anyone's collection because you could totally see them doing it with the real Cobra logo on like a retro card or something.
Yeah, we
It
know.
would have a brutal chest cut though.
Oh yeah, well.
I'm sure.
Well, it's an all new sculpt, they said. So that's up to them.
Yeah, maybe not.
Remember, they have the new, not that they would reuse it, but Bazooka has a totally different style of chest cut, right?
Yeah.
He's got the kind of domey cut, and you could absolutely do that because of Cobra Commander's sort of second belt. If you wanted to, that's an absolutely natural cut for that kind of horizontal, still completely unnecessary chest cut. So, possible.
Yes. And I mean, we know that the retro collection from Walmart, we know it's finite, right? We know they're going to do however many more. We know who 4 of them are. There's going to be, 4 more or 8 more or whatever. But we know that there's going to be a limited number of those. And it makes sense to have a Cobra Commander included in that. And it makes sense to try and recoup some of the money you spent on tooling by throwing a bonus one here. There's a lot of folks, again, lamenting this as part of this campaign, thinking that we're never going to see this figure again, and that's crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, like they're not going to take the most, if in a line that has been steadily going towards retro homages, is not going to do the most iconic take of the most iconic bad guy in the entire franchise. Well, okay. Yeah. You're not thinking clearly at that point. If that's what you think. So, but yeah, good call, Racktime Rob. Good call. Charlie Kukalski's in the Roadblock fan club still. New version of Roadblock 18,000. But so anyways, what I was thinking here is that and correct me, I want to get your guys' input on this as well. It seems that after the stretch goal, the response to the early stretch goals was a little underwhelming, despite the fact that the response to the tank was overwhelming. It feels like they maybe shoved their last two planned stretch goals together and made that stretch goal 3. And then I don't want to call it a panic ad, but in a very rushed ad, made this, which was already a planned figure for the Walmart retro line, made this stretch goal number 4. That's what it feels like. I don't have anything that can verify that, but that I just wanted to get your feelings on that thought.
Could be, but
I think it. Yeah, here we go. Tiger Force
Tollbooth robbed again. Yeah.
But when I mean the first 2 takeaways when it very first launched was, wow, it's gorgeous, and ooh, $300. But what we talked about, on our first show about it was, well, let's wait and see what all we're getting. And so now, if you look at the whole thing now, assuming this unlocks, if you value a classified figure at $25, well, $100 of it is just figure.
Right.
So if I were to tell you were going to get a H.I.S.S tank with no driver, but with movable treads, with lights, with all of the extra missiles and chin cannons and all that for $200, yeah, there is value in this. And I wasn't sure we'd be able to say that originally. But the stretch goals have added a ton of value to this product. So, I got nothing but kudos for the Joe team for what they've put together here. And I love that the community has supported it as strongly as they have, because it just means more good things down the road.
Currently sitting at 15,594 backers.
There you go.
So we're a week past. We're into where most HasLab campaigns are in that dead zone, but there's still a slow and steady march on the classified H.I.S.S tank. It's really mind blowing how much of a winner this thing is.
Yeah.
Where did that comment go? But Tim Peterson adds that since this is not even a render, I don't think Cobra Commander will be one of the remaining retro carded figures. He'll probably just be mainline classified. Yeah, possible.
Could be.
Possible.
Lord knows you'd sell him.
Well, and
yeah.
I love
if they made it mainline, that wouldn't be a bad choice.
And the attention to detail here is great for the original Commander, because some of the things that occasionally get skipped, the red stripe all the way down the leg, the stirrup boots, and the short gloves. Because what's considered iconic Cobra Commander now is those big, gigantic, almost to the wrist gloves.
Yeah, like on Sunbow.
Yeah, like on Sunbow. That's his iconic look, but it's not accurate for the original. And that's something Bobby Valor worked really hard on that Missile Command set, was getting a real 82 homage Commander out there. So, and I just gotta say, the Mickey Mouse does nothing for me. I get why it's cool in collecting lore, and I absolutely would have used it here. It's perfect as not a collection breaker, but it's so good to see a big Cobra logo without the hanging ropes in front of it, which was a massive mistake on the original classified Commander.
We'll talk about him in a minute.
All right, fair enough.
But Chazaguru agrees with you. This thing is a steal now. It's incredible for $300. Have to agree, it's certainly worth it. I mean, look at the dollar figures attached to so many of these projects. That $300 seems like it's going a long way.
Yeah. And look at all the stuff with the figure. It's not just like they went, here's a fig, right? Like even the gunner has a big old shovel.
And pickaxe.
Joe
Colton's going to break in that Home Depot credit card with that shovel.
I just know that Joe's diorama is going to have the H.I.S.S on its side, but the gunner with the MMA gloves on and the shovel over her head, chasing Tiger Force Recondo, who is running for his damn life. It's going to be good.
Yep.
That's I I guess one more question is, since this is a lock to unlock, right? They're not going to not come up with 400 more backers in the next month and a week.
Yeah.
38 days left, 38 days and change left. Yeah, count it. Okay, this is on the board. We got to get any more stretch goals out of this? Go ahead, Rob.
If they add another one, I think it's probably going to be the blast effect, because I think that at that point you start to get to the point of, if you start to add bigger stuff, when do they start losing money on this thing?
Right.
Yeah. Blast effects are with an extra sticker sheet or something.
Yeah.
Somebody pointed out, now I'm not going to call anybody a maniac, but I can't imagine having the disposable income to just buy 5 of these. But there are those people out there. And somebody mentioned, look, if you made a sticker sheet with a couple different numbers, so you could number your HISS tanks, plural, differently, so they aren't all 788, that's kind of a cool idea. So, and stickers don't cost anything, so wouldn't bother me if they add a 5th stretch goal if there wasn't a ton of value in it, because I think they've given us plenty. And as fans, we want this to be very profitable for Hasbro. So when the next time they hit, HasLab Classified, they're like, goddamn right, we made 35% on that. So line it up.
Joe Colton, you think there's anything waiting for us on this one?
I think the stickers are a cool idea, and also when it's smart, because I remember, was it Cobra stickers up in Canada? They would print different numbers for the retro ones. So it'd be cool if we got a sheet that just had numbers on it, and you could just add
a couple of the 25, the 25th anniversary releases have the stickers where you can change the numbers.
Yeah.
I think if there's going to be another stretch goal, it'll be. I'm not expecting one. I'll be the skeptic again. But if it does happen, I think Viper Scout's got the right idea. A 5th tier could be a 3rd HISS driver with another root out color scheme, or a Joe Hack sticker set to make it a Chimera.
Chimera.
So, whatever.
So what are we at now? We're at like 4, right?
3 done, and 4 is almost
just about
done.
the 4th. We're on the cusp of unlocking this 4th one.
Yeah, we need about another 406 backers.
I like how we're calling it we.
Yeah, because it's funded. Once it's funded, it's us.
Yeah.
Until when it's not funded, it's them. You've already got 4 figures for a vehicle that seats 3. Like, I can't imagine dropping another figure in here. And I appreciate the Chimera reference, because that's from that thin window we like to call the golden years when I was involved. But most of that,
the Mark Webber era,
right? Yeah, most of that stuff was simply because there was very little existing tooling and no money for new tooling. So flipping a Joe vehicle Cobra and a Cobra vehicle Joe was out of necessity and on some level desperation. So I'm glad that some people remember the Chimera fondly. Even working on it, I like it, but it still made me sad that we weren't making new Joe vehicles at all during that time.
But one last question about HasLab from Hooded Cobra Commander 788. What do you think the next classified HasLab will be? A Vamp, or do they have to go bigger since this one went so well? And Rob, why don't you go ahead and take this one first?
I don't know if we get too much bigger, or if you can get too much bigger, just simply because once you start getting beyond the HISS tank, you start to get into the realm of ridiculously large. Where do you put it? And then that can negatively affect your campaign.
Right.
So, maybe a HISS, something like that. I mean, maybe a Vamp, something like that. But, I think they found like a good, I think the HISS shows them a good sweet spot to aim for, for future.
Yeah.
They're getting a good number. What kind of return can we expect on this type of thing? So.
Joe Colton, what do you think?
I agree with Rob. I also want to add in like supply chain issues. Plastic's gone up, like rubber's gone up. I don't know, like the return if you go bigger, I don't know, the profit margin might decrease drastically. So also, how many people are really going to buy a flag for 6-inch figures? Like, where are you putting that? In your backyard? Like, let's be real. Like, I know it's a great dream for us to be able to see that, but realistically, where are you putting that?
It's kind of a nightmare.
Like, honestly, like, how many people have like a living room that is probably like, I don't know, like 50 by 100 for you to be able to walk around and have that as your coffee table? Like, let's be realistic. So maybe something like this is the sweet spot, as Rob said. So maybe a vamp, maybe, I don't know, maybe we could go a little bit bigger, but not much.
Yeah.
Not much.
I just don't think there's much iconic that's a little bit bigger than the Hiss, right?
Yeah.
Like, are you talking Havoc sized, or I guess Mobat or Mauler sized at that
maybe
point?
about that.
That I think that's
Maybe.
This thing did really well, so I hate cap it, but I don't think
That might be the cap.
A motorized Mobat with a bunch of good stretch goals, isn't that $500?
Yeah, easily.
Yeah.
And is 500 throw off? Basically, we did 300 on the Hiss. Are we going to go another 200?
Right. I mean, you could get a Reva lightsaber for that.
Yeah,
you could, but no one is.
No one is.
I think a vamp is a good call, or an awe striker, something like that, where you can make the value up in other pieces.
Yeah.
I
something
think
you can make modular.
Right. I think that's going to be key for the lifeblood of these campaigns, which I'm assuming that the next one will probably be next year, as successful as this one is. Like next summer, this will probably be a thing again. So yeah, vamp would be great because you can do clutch, and then you could maybe another stretch goal is another one of the old guys, like a Grand Slam or somebody you wouldn't see under any other circumstances, because Grand Slam, or Short Fuse or somebody like that. So yeah, good call on that. I think that's the next place to go.
And then you can switch out weapon pods,
If they're doing a vamp with real rubber tires with some cool stretch goals for $200, the vamp has two good reuses as a Mark II and as a Stinger. And if I were involved with the brand, that's what I'd be trying to sell actual retail on. Was, look, the motorcycles sell at 50. Try to sell this second version of the vamp that we sold 16,000 of. You sell it with less stuff for 150.
Right.
Put that on your shelf and see how it flies. That's what I'd do. But
they got to get the buyers to buy in. But
that's it. But I don't think you're going to get the buyers to buy in on a Mobat that's more expensive than the Hiss. But if you actually take a step back, because a vamp is not the same value as a Hiss on its own, right? It's just not. So that's okay. That's not necessarily a bad thing, because you have more credible reuse options. You can do other versions of the Hiss out of this if you want to do Blue Hiss or Polar Hiss, but none of them are as cool as Vamp Mark II or Stinger. So I think there's some win in there. And I thought Vamp would be the first. They were more aggressive, and they were right that people will pay for this. But that doesn't mean you can't go backwards price-wise.
Yeah.
So.
But will they?
I don't know. I mean, I'm sure there's pressure to make everything bigger and better, right? 300 was a snap. Why not do the Mobat? Well,
Matt Rubin asked, does anyone think that Hasbro has backed themselves in a corner for the next classified HasLab? They included 3 figures, possibly 4. Next time people are going to expect the same. That's fine. That's not really backing yourself in a corner. If they want to, if that's the expectation and they hit that, whatever. If you're already getting people to commit to that, then having 3 figures in there is kind of, I would think that was part of the campaign regardless.
Yeah.
But one last news item available for, I'm sorry, I take a timeout for news item sound effects.
No.
Oh. Denied.
On the day where we twinned up on T-shirts, you're going to do
I
this.
know.
That hurts.
It's
That
fine.
hurts
Twisted.
deeply.
I'm just bugging you.
Mhm.
All right. Ready?
Go ahead.
Toot, 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 toot.
Right?
Never hear it again.
We need to get that on a button. So
Right.
when she's not here, we can just hit it.
All right, but Long Box Heroes from Fresh Monkey Fiction pre-orders went live on Big Bad Toy Store this week. You can. I know this isn't really GI Joe, but it's something that I personally love quite a bit. So we're all going to hear about it because any toy line that gives me the Tick, Madman, the Goon, and the Rocketeer all in one shot is a good toy line. It's got articulation like the old Superpowers figures from the 80s. So by all means, head on over to Big Bad Toy Store and check those out and see if any of those are to your liking. All independent comic creators, and I'm sure you got your favorites. Their bad guy is kind of like an evil Rocketeer type. It's pretty neat. So good times from our friends at Fresh Monkey Fiction. Excuse me, as I stumble through Fresh Monkey.
Right? Note the different sized eyeballs on the Tick.
Well, yeah.
Maybe we get mucus tick.
I mean, Arthur better happen is all I'm saying.
Yeah, true.
Is that Freakazoid? No, that is Mike Allred's Madman. Freakazoid wears a red suit and has an F on the front.
And a U on the back.
Right.
Spoon.
All right. So yeah, that's the news.
Toot, 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 toot.
All right. See, I didn't. I'm glad you forgive me, Joe Colton. Let's take a second here before we get to tonight's main event to get a word from our sponsors. Be right back.
We buy, sell, and trade vintage and modern toys. G.I. Joe, Star Wars, Transformers, Marvel, DC, and more. Located in beautiful downtown Kokomo, Indiana, we are open every Wednesday through Saturday from 12 to 5. It's a theme park of nostalgia. Join the thousands of people who have traveled from all over the Midwest for over a decade to buy and sell with us. Get your geek on.
All right, there we go from our friends at Kokomo Toys. Mark,
I blew my nose. I blew my nose in sync with the lightsaber effect.
Nice.
It made me feel powerful.
So, anyways, for tonight, as our part of the Cobra Convergence event, we have decided to revive, and we were going to revive it anyway, when like we were done. But we're going tier list for you, and we are doing a tier list of all the classified Cobra figures we've received to this point. So that's what we got going on. You can see we got some Cobra terminology in our rankings. We have Commander, Officer, Mercenary, Specialist, and Trooper. And we've got about 21 of these guys to rank. So, yeah, be a good time. Nobody's excited. Nobody.
No, I'm just saying. I think it's reverence because this is, as always, the definitive rank.
It is. It is the definitive.
Yeah.
No monkeying around here.
No.
With this one, we are not going for the all-encompassing depth that we are with our year-by-year rundowns. This is solely about how cool we think the figures are.
Mm-hmm.
This has nothing to do with impact or anything like that. This is all about just classified figures are really coming into their own as just awesome toys, and we want to reflect that. So first up on tonight's docket is the Alley Viper. I got a boxed one around here somewhere.
I don't, but cool.
Me neither.
Mine's pending.
Me too.
But we'll say, Joe Colton, you've got one of these, right?
Mhm.
Talk to me about the Alley Viper.
It's pretty.
Yeah.
So pretty.
Pretty
Yeah,
thick
he's
in the
pretty
crotch.
awesome. He is absolutely thick in the crotch, bro.
Yeah, it could have gone either way, I think. But they did right. It looks great. I like the orange and blue, obviously, the original, but I like the brightness and I like the pattern. It wasn't overbearing.
Right. I honestly, I like the gear. They made that shield work. That's got the little swivel handle on it. They made the face mask, which famously has no eyes, work.
Yes.
He's just teaming over with guns and gear, and there's ammo clips that go in his machine gun, and he's a commander all the way, don't you think?
Yeah. I'd say he's a commander.
All right.
I think when you hit, if you're going for a classic kind of redo, if you hit all the tones this strongly, absolutely.
Yeah.
And if you're revamping it or updating it and it's awesome, yeah, that can be a commander too. But
I feel like the person who sculpted this really loved an Alley Viper.
yeah, and it opens, and there's lots of different deco options for this, right? We could be getting Alley Viper every couple years for a decade and we'd still be happy about it.
Yep.
So this guy's full of win.
Also, like the way the color palette went, it didn't it broke, like the blue broke up the like intense orange and it didn't make it overpowering. It's like you could go very orange and like not get the blue right and it would have been bad, or get the blue too much and like not the right blue. So it was good.
I mean, if you look at a figure and say, what would I change? And the answer is nothing.
Nothing.
Come on down, right? Get up there.
He's a Mets fan on the subway, is what he is.
Yeah.
He seems a little lightly armed for the subway.
Like
Beat me to it.
But he's a Mets fan.
But heavily armed for a caterer.
Right. Next up is the Baroness, and this is the Baroness that came with the coil cycle. The carded Baroness is not part of tonight's proceedings because there just aren't enough of them out there for us to really judge. But everybody here's got a Baroness. Mark Weber, why don't you talk about the Baroness?
I mean, the only complaint anybody had about this figure was that they couldn't friggin' find it originally, right? But that has softened over time, and that was the only real criticism early on.
I think you could still get it on the Pulse.
Yeah, and the one thing that, remember that the very first classified figures were decoed mainly to match the video game, right? The Operation Blackout, where she had purple tinges in her hair, which you can
on
see
the figure.
You can see on the original backing. And I don't know if they realized the game wasn't going to be that big a hit, or if somebody, a designer we know and love, made the decision that we're just not going to do that, because purple hair Baroness is a specialist. Same damn figure is a specialist for a bad look, for abandoning the iconic look of a character for a Johnny-come-lately video game that nobody's going to remember and nobody liked that much. So this is chef's kiss. This is as good as it gets. The only problem was it was hard to find, and that's not a problem anymore. So Baroness right up top.
Yeah, absolutely.
Can't be better.
Hooded Cobra Commander 788 sums up my feelings on this figure as well. It's an amazing rendition of the Baroness, updated, but it feels right. Yeah, I love the little extra stuff. I love the gold tinge on the glasses.
Yeah,
I like the gold pistol. That's just something that, like, the Baroness is pretty vain as a character, and that's something that she would have.
That snaky laser gun is kind of weird too.
It's kind of funky.
Well, her glasses have the cobras on the side.
Yeah, those are, as you look closely up, they're Cobra. Yeah, on the horn one there.
It came with our first vehicle, right?
Yeah.
Which by and large nobody likes.
Right.
It's all right.
It's not, a descendant of anything that meant anything. It's kind of chunky. It's kind of Akira. It's something nobody really cared much for, and yet nobody was mad about paying extra for that bike to get this figure.
Right. Absolutely right up there on the commander line. No problem.
I have a feeling I know where a lot of these are going to be ending up tonight.
Yeah.
Strong collection.
It kind of is.
It's probably fair to say the ratio of hits to misses is better on Cobras than Joe's for classified.
I don't know.
I don't have it all in front of me, but that's just on first glance, I would say that's a solid argument.
Yeah.
You might be right.
We'll see. It happens.
We'll get there with the Joes at some point, I'm sure. We can't just leave this dangling.
Yeah.
Because
But
even the misses in this line are just near misses.
Up next is the Bat. And why don't we just go ahead and put the Bat right up next to the Baroness? Because the Bat is amazing.
Yes.
I don't really like the Bat. I don't care about traditionally. Whatever. It's like it's a robot. It's something that I'm convinced they came up with so they could blow up stuff on the cartoon. But man, that Bat's an incredible figure.
Yeah.
It's and again, like the best of these figures, it's an update in all the right places.
Yeah.
The only question I have about that Bat is, did they tell Super 7 it was coming? And Super 7 says, doesn't matter, ours is different enough or bigger or whatever. Or did they not tell Super 7 they were going to come out with a kick-ass Bat before theirs would even reach market?
That's that Bat, since we know Lenny sculpted it, right? That Bat is Lenny choke slamming Super 7.
Pretty much. I really, and I have friends at Super 7 too. I really hope that Hasbro went, you can do the Bat, but we're doing it too, and ours will be out before yours. And Super 7 said, doesn't matter, we're cool. Then if they didn't share it, because I guarantee you that $50 Super 7 Bat got a ton of pre-orders canceled when this guy was announced.
Mm-hmm.
All right, up next, we alluded to him earlier, but this is the navy blue, the regular version of Cobra Commander. And I'll go ahead and start here because my criticism of it today is the same as it was when it premiered. It's a good figure, and I like the things that they tried to do, but it's very busy. And if they had gotten rid of any two of the design elements involved here, it would still be an updated type figure with a lot of detail. But as it is with everything, and as Mark likes to point out, so much stuff covering up his Cobra sigil on his chest, he's a tough one. I like him, but he's a tough one to love. Like this as a regular Cobra Commander figure, I'm not super in love with this guy. I'm interested to hear where you guys place him on the tier here. Go ahead,
I like the figure. I like the design. There's probably an element or two that could come out of it, to make it a little less busy. But in general, I'm kind of okay with a little bit of busy because Cobra Commander is a pompous ass and would dress that way. The figure itself, though, because of the way that they cut it to make it look like a dress uniform, gives it some awkward looks in certain poses because the cuts don't come right, in the articulation. So I'm probably putting this in the middle at a mercenary. Mm-hmm. Looks good on the shelf once you find that pose, but sometimes it's a little awkward looking. Like the knees, like if you bend the knees far too back, it looks like it's a box, and because of the way the pants had to be cut. You can't have like that uniform and have knee pads on there,
Mark, I know you're chomping at the bit on this one.
No, I mean, I pretty much echo what Rob says and what you said. Like, I think it's borderline sacrilegious to put something in front of the Cobra logo, especially on Cobra Commander. Like,
right.
I would, if I'd had a voice in that room, and that would be a normal kind of marketing versus design disagreement. And you got to be really careful as a marketer when you're pushing back on a design choice, because that's their job, right? But that would have been my argument was, how are you going to put something in front of the most iconic logo in the franchise's history?
Well, it's also multiple things. It's not one, right? It's the strap. It's the other Cobra emblem. It's the chain. It's like, it's a lot. It's just a lot.
A lot there. And, I beat the drum on Brutal Chest Cut being the death of the line or the bane of the line. But there's hardly a character that it hurts more than this guy. It's just, you cannot get your eye off of it. So
So Racktime Rob has him on the mercenary line. Do we come to that conclusion too?
I could do officer or mercenary. I'm not putting anybody on commander that I would have made changes to. So he doesn't. Funny enough, the Cobra Commander can't make commander for me. Mercenary, I'm okay with. I could do swayed to officer because there are other versions of this same figure that I like less. But
Well, we'll get to him in a second.
Yeah, but there's also a figure coming out that's better. So
yeah.
But I mean, sure. That'll go on its own merits. But I'm okay with this guy being smack in the middle. Like they did a lot right. Like it looks like Cobra Commander. It just maybe they did a little too much.
The whole rope that wraps around him like a freaking whip lasso thing. It needs to stop.
See, I kind of like that. I think it would look too plain without it.
No, yes, but with everything, and then the roping on top of that, and then the sides, having that almost same, looking texture. He's just really busy for me.
Yeah.
And then that brings us to the second version, the Regal Cobra Commander, or the Network Cobra Commander.
Boo!
I'm not a fan. I don't like this repaint. I don't even have this figure. I
didn't buy it either.
It's just all the gold is just too much.
If you try by itself, it looks okay. But if you try and put that color scheme, with the other Cobra troops, it doesn't work.
He looks like he's a Victorian version of himself.
Yeah.
What?
Standing by himself, standing next to Destro or something, looks fine. But with the Cobra troops, oh no.
Yeah, no, it's too much. And I think what they tried for with Regal Cobra Commander, they actually did better with another figure, which we'll get to in a second.
Yeah.
I don't have this guy as high as the other one. I think really
he's a touch below, yeah.
I think he's our first trooper.
I would put him as specialist, but then I would mark him down for how bad Network hosed it on that release and had no customer service to help people with questions. And that's still one of my highlights of being on the show was live deleting their app. Because
I'm not going to hold the merchandise responsible for that.
Well, it's part of the fig.
It's part of that problem.
You know what?
Mike, are there on this whole line? Which ones don't you own?
There's a couple.
Are there? Okay.
There's a couple. I don't have everybody. I am not a completist. I don't buy into that.
This guy sucks.
I think the figure on its own, if you guys say that the figure on his own is a specialist, I can admit to being outvoted on that one. I'll put him on the specialist line. I think he's a trooper because I don't like the
figure. He's a low specialist.
You can put him on the trooper. I don't care.
I put him on the trooper because he smells like Network.
All right. You know what? I'm moving him down.
That's it.
I'm moving him down.
I don't want to never trust a website that can't afford to buy vowels.
The stink of their incompetence will outlast their company.
I just don't want to hear the honcho
It already has
for years.
Have you seen another Network exclusive in the last couple of years?
Yes, but not for Hasbro.
Yeah, not for Hasbro.
Yeah, no, I think they learned their lesson on that one.
I wouldn't know. I deleted their app.
They wanted to be hip.
Lie.
Well, that was in the days too where they thought Classified was going to be this niche line for hipsters.
Yeah, for bathing ape. Good.
Right. Now, that brings us to the Snake Supreme Cobra Commander. We'll get all three of them out in one run. I actually like this guy best out of the three because the job that he's there to do, this is Cobra Commander dressing like a pompous ass. This is Cobra Commander in his full regalia.
This is the outfit he is saving for Inauguration Day.
Right. This is
the one he puts on when he hits Caesar's Palace.
Oh
yeah, like it's Prophet Director Destro, only it's not in bad taste.
Yeah.
Right?
Like I said, this is Vegas Caesar's Palace type Cobra Commander. Prophet Director Destro is at the Golden Nugget in Reno.
Right. So this is racially sensitive Cobra Commander. That's good.
Yeah.
So I wanted to hate him so much, but that box art got me.
Yeah.
It's there too. I'm with you, Joe. I bought this. I was kind of like, why am I buying this?
I don't want this.
I don't want it. And then I got him, and I was like, I like this.
Same.
I know. You got it in because you got it in the first, and like they sent it to you in 3 days, and then I just went, I have to order that.
Right. Mike, check out the comment from Viper Scout over in the comments. Third from the bottom right now.
Oh, it's perfect. Yes.
Thanks, Supreme. Is so satisfying. This is Cobra Commander going full Elton John. Yeah.
Yes.
And the only thing I would change is that
or Liberace.
they gave him well, there's no fur on that cape, but they gave him a black Cobra logo. They needed to go red there.
Yeah, I'll give you that.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's the only thing I would change. But I think this guy's an officer.
He's the best of the three. I totally agree with
He's fancy.
Hey,
So fancy.
fantastic.
Look at him.
Like
Elton
that's
John
where
Cobra. That's even better.
they created a too busy mold, but at least they gave us a set of circumstances where too busy works.
that.
Yeah.
I love that Elton John Cobra Commander is looking up at Alley Viper above him and going like, "What the?
And Joe
What happened
Selden,
here?"
we didn't even mention the fork cape is Chef's kiss.
Yeah.
It's like with this thing, the Regal Cobra Commander was busier than the first one. Too busy, it killed it. But this one, they just went, let's just make it so busy that it comes out the other end, and that's what they did. And that's what you got.
Okay, we got to get a move on. So, Crocmaster is next, and Crocmaster's incredible.
Yeah.
Do we really even need to talk about this?
I
Man,
don't have him yet, but somebody pointed out with an extreme close-up of the head that he actually has a ripped and sewn back together seam in his mask.
yeah,
Yeah, you
That
can
they
see it
put
on the
it,
artwork on the
like-
box too.
Dude,
Yeah.
that's ridiculous.
yeah. That like his back looks like the back of a gator. Like he skinned the back of a gator. They didn't just throw scales on him. Like
He hollowed out a gator.
yeah, he's just if you haven't decided to buy this figure, fix that.
Right.
Because this guy's awesome. Oh, but I didn't like Crocmaster back in the. It doesn't matter.
You
I
will
didn't
now.
care for. I didn't care for Crocmaster back in the day. This guy's awesome. That Fiona is incredible.
Yeah.
That gator,
And
holy cow! That gator's almost worth it on its own.
it's the only one, really the only one of the deluxe figures that had to be deluxe, right?
Yeah,
Any of the other ones you could have thinned down and they still would have been good figs.
right.
But this guy had to be exactly how they did him. So yeah. Salute.
Yeah, and they not stuck the landing whole way. No notes. 10 out of 10. Yeah. Okay. Next up, Joe Colton. You like that one?
I really like that figure.
Good. I just didn't want to shut you out. Next up is Destro.
I appreciate
Going
that.
all the way back to Wave 1 for Destro. And I gotta admit, Destro was the first figure in the classified line that said to me, "Yeah, this is pretty good."
Yeah, I think he was the first figure that kind of like kicked it up a notch. Like you were like, okay, 6-inch, pretty good. And then he came out and we were all like, what is that?
Yeah, like we were all kind of on Roadblock and on Scarlet, and Duke was pretty good, and Snake Eyes was a little better even, and then they showed Destro, and Destro was the stuff.
Yeah. He set the bar, I think. So
He's not still the best figure, but he was the best figure for quite a while,
yeah.
right?
It took a while for him to get knocked off that peg.
He
Well, I
was
mean,
top of the food chain for quite a while.
Wave 2 was Gung Ho, Cobra Commander, and a Red Ninja, so he's better than all three of them.
So he was good until the Red Ninjas came along, right, Joe?
I don't know. We'll see how I fare with the Red Ninjas. You might be surprised.
So that brings us to, is Destro in the same company as the folks who are already on the Commander line? I mean, this.
Yeah, I'd say so.
Yeah.
I would say so too. I think anytime you have a character represented in what may be the best version of that character. Yeah.
Killing it.
Yeah.
Oh.
Only thing I'd change would be he needs the grenades on that side.
I wasn't
that's
wild about the gold gun, but that's
I'm all right with that.
that's a nitpick.
Yeah, he'd have it. He's an ostentatious sort.
Only
He's aristocracy.
only if Scaramanga
Not
misplaced
as much
it,
as
but
the rest
whatever.
in the next one.
Here we go.
All right, and so we go from the ecstasy, and we're back in the agony, as Prophet Director Destro is front and center.
Trooper.
Atlantic City Destro Trooper.
God. Yeah. Or hookers
know.
go to die.
I get why they did it,
Do
but
you?
yeah, just because it's easy and iconic on some level.
Right.
But it also has, some racial connotation
Yeah.
that Hasbro is normally very sensitive to. Anything, that might be problematic. And so just out of respect for Arthur, this is a trooper.
Yeah.
They didn't need. I know why they did it. They didn't need to do it.
Right.
I didn't get one. They're all like they were around here for a bit, and they were the only ones on the pegs, and I was like, I don't care if you're on discount, I'm not fucking getting you.
Yeah. And hopefully that tepid response means they never have to go here again.
Yeah.
It was an easy way to try and recoup some of the Destro molding costs, I'm sure. But it's a flat joke. It's not good. It's terrible.
Yeah.
He's a trooper. And up next is Firefly.
Mm-hmm.
And he just was announced he's getting a redo in 2023. And that's probably going to be a relief to a lot of folks watching, but
yeah.
Let's discuss what we've got in our Cobra Island exclusive from Target Firefly from 2020. Joe Colton, you like this Firefly?
I mean, I don't hate him or like him more than the Destro.
Oh no, he's not going up on the top line by any no way.
Yeah. Just saying. I would put him either in the mercenary or, if I'm being really critical, the specialist.
Now, I'll throw that out there. I would say Matt Rubin's got his thumb on me here. He's a mercenary due to his gear. Firefly came with some pretty outstanding stuff.
Yeah, okay. I did not take into account the gear, but yeah. If it was just the figure, God, that's hard.
I mean, the figure itself is fine, but that vest really breaks things up.
Yeah.
But
you're okay with the diaper?
I mean, if you've already got the vest, then the diaper makes sense at least.
Sensible diaper.
Right? I mean, if you're going to blow yourself
the vest, do you really need to shit that much?
you're going to blow yourself up, you need depends.
Sometimes when you're working with high explosives, you just can't leave.
Oh, goodness.
Right? The oops, I crap my pants Viper.
Oh. All the poop jokes.
That's a real Toxo Viper.
I can deal with mercenary line.
Yeah, I think that's as high as he goes. I think there's enough here that any one of us would have reworked.
Yeah.
Right? Like
I did end up liking him more once I saw him.
I'm sorry.
It's not a terrible figure.
Yeah.
It's just not Firefly, other than the colors they chose.
Right.
With a totally different head, with say a helmet or just hair or whatever. If this was a new character that was Cobra EOD, this guy'd be great because the gear is fantastic. It's just not Firefly.
Yeah.
So
you can't do a lot of sneaking around in that EOD vest.
No,
if Firefly's supposed to sneak around, he's a saboteur.
I would not give this guy credit for the cool stuff he came with, because the cool stuff he came with is exactly counter to what the character has always been.
Yeah.
So I would specialist this guy because he's the first one they completely misunderstood.
Yeah.
Rich Murphy makes an important
bomb
point.
Disposal guy.
Firefly is thick in the crotch, bro.
That's true.
I mean,
I
yeah.
guess.
I wish this was a new character, right?
Yeah, that would have been better.
All right. So Joe Colton, one word, mercenary specialist. Where am I going?
Specialist.
Rob?
Specialist.
Mark?
Specialist.
All right. There we go then.
Should have been a new character. And it shows that they, not just that they understand, but that they're listening, which is a really good thing.
Yeah.
Because he's the first one they're pivoting back to fix. So
Okay. So up next is the Cobra Infantry. And he was the source of some headaches when he first popped up because, wow, you couldn't find him for a while. But Mark Weber, what do you think of that Cobra Infantry figure?
I think he's real good. I can't think of anything off the top of my head that I would change. But he didn't light my fire like the Commander troops did. So I'd plunk him an officer as being a really damn good fig.
All right.
Hard to find.
Is this the general release?
This is the general release.
Okay.
What do you think, Rob?
I agree. Like I said, one design change I would make would be get that knife lower. But
is this the one with the knife by the head?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, then that's why he's officer.
Yeah.
Because I saw that as the dude further down with the jutting knife by the shoulder.
Yeah. But other than that, really good figure.
Yeah, that bothered me a ton.
A really nice update to the Cobra. Your typical blue shirt Cobra. But I'd go officer.
All right. Joe Colton, you agree?
A better version.
Yeah, officer.
All right. All right. Now,
knows Cobra officer. It's Joe Colton, bro.
up next is Major Blood.
Oof.
And Major
was
Blood.
he the one that knocked Destro off his
Maybe.
Yeah,
I
he's
think
up there.
so.
Major Blood is he's really good.
Yeah. He's like
just throw him up there.
Yeah.
Saves time.
There's no discussion needed.
There again, he's
Commander. That figure rocks.
This is the best Major Blood ever.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
Okay, now we got a couple of movie figs. First up is the Baroness.
Oh.
And I thought this was a pretty good likeness. It's not a great figure. But I think in general the movie line was a weak wave. They all kind of had their issues. I think Akiko and Scarlet are probably the two strongest, and neither of them are here. So I am comfortable getting the Baroness, who was one of the few joys of the Snake Eyes movie.
Mm-hmm.
I'm okay with her on the mercenary line.
Agreed.
It's funny because if you divvy it up from the Snake Eyes movie, Scarlet wasn't bad. Baroness is pretty damn good. Akiko stunned us all by surviving.
Yeah.
And Storm Shadow was fantastic.
Yeah.
Most of the pieces of that movie worked. If only Snake Eyes wasn't such a jerk. If only the cinematography didn't make people want to throw up.
Yeah.
They might have had a winner there.
Yeah. Yeah. So,
But yeah, Giraffe Neck hurts this girl.
A little bit. They gave a little too much attention to that choker. And I think it hurt.
As a person with a tall neck, hey.
You're not rocking mecha neck like this Baroness figure was.
Joe Colton, you have a tall neck because you have a tall everything.
I guess that's true.
You're
but literally,
5'8".
If you cut the part below the choker but above the torso, her neck would be normal. It's like she had a normal neck and then they threw choker in, not on top of it, but in addition. This poor girl is a bobblehead in real life.
Joel McMullen asks us if what are we smoking? Movie Baroness is better than Firefly.
Movie Baroness looked like the Baroness.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. That's not Firefly. He's
Doesn't
wearing
matter.
a diaper.
Doesn't matter what we're smoking. It's definitive. Up next is the aforementioned movie Storm Shadow.
Well, the Ivory Man.
And as great as he was in the movie, this is a bad figure.
It's boring.
Boring.
Yeah. Just dull. Just clearly lots of paint apps that they just skipped.
Yep. Put this guy on the all-new not so specialist line.
Yeah, that seems right. It's a good. It's a
I
good
had a trooper.
See, I don't think he's as bad as the two that are down there. Boring as he may be, at least I look at him and say, "Hey, that's movie Storm Shadow," as opposed to get that out of here. So that's a big line to cross.
Oh boy.
Yeah, I'm good with that.
Okay. Joe Self says somebody once called him Storm Shadow, and I can't unsee it.
Right? Don't put that figure under a black light.
God.
Shroud of Turin.
Awful. Why would you say that? I can't
Matt O'Brien says I cannot accept this as definitive. That sounds like a you problem.
Yeah, whether you like it or don't like it, learn to love it.
Right?
This
Wow.
is not a democracy.
It's the definitive.
4 of us, 1 of you. Get with it. If you don't like it, we're going to do 2 more shows this week. Maybe we'll change.
And Joel McMullen, the actor, head sculpt safe Storm Shadow. Yes, it does.
Yes, it
does.
Yeah. And better than Gleaming Gold Destro or the not mentioned Cobra Commander. He who shall not be named.
The network.
Up next is the very recently released Cobra officer.
Yeah.
Joe Colton, you honored this officer today. What do you think?
I did.
You got him
I
yet?
really like this figure. It fixed the problems that others had and is wonderful.
Stunning lack of breasts, though. Because we
yes,
all know
it does
Cobra
not
officers
have the breasts that
are female, but yeah.
Maybe one will come out that has breasts.
There we go.
Look, if they sculpted up a H.I.S driver,
Right.
Yeah.
Right. We don't know what's under the H.I.S driver molding. Maybe there's a shirt that they can put a logo on. Who knows?
There you go.
Racktime Rob, you were fond of the officer from our discussions off camera.
Yes, I put him on the commander level. He's awesome.
Mm-hmm.
That's the officer?
The officer, yeah.
Why does he have a red Cobra logo? Oh no, down low. I'm sorry, I was looking at the trooper.
Get with the program, Hot Joe.
Hey man, it's a lot of Cobra up there.
There is.
He's got to be an officer, just for the serendipitousness.
Phil Donnelly says Mark here calling for a Cobra officer with moobs.
Yeah. Put some plastic breasts on that officer and call him Sable.
Get some super sculpting.
Matt O'Brien has come around. I can't fight with the hot joke.
That's it.
That's all we can ask.
That's just that pity.
Happen in this world, but
that's not respect. That's pity because I almost died last week. But I'll take it.
I'll take it.
Right. We have two hosts with a combined 17 years of G.I. Joe podcasting. We have a former head of the brand. This is the definitive list.
Yeah, come on.
Definitive list.
The original female Cobra officer? Come on.
Go to Cobra Commander. New title for this episode. Maybe one will come out that has breasts.
There we go.
There we go.
Hey, man, we're looking for... We could use some clickbait. Go with
it. Joe Colton, find me an embarrassing picture.
Right? Of Wes.
Of Wes.
Of Pirate Wes with one eye. Oh.
Cobra boobs coobs.
Speaking of embarrassing pictures, here's William.
That's never happened.
Here's William. William doesn't follow us on Twitter for some reason. William needs to fix that.
William will follow us on Twitter while he's driving.
Yeah, do we want to take that kind of responsibility?
Oh.
Up on 2 wheels, maybe.
Maybe.
Terrifying.
So Cobra officer, Mark Weber, give me one word answer.
Yeah.
Commander
Officer, get him up there.
Racktime Rob.
I say commander. He kicks ass.
Joe Colton.
Oh. Am I not? No, you're not. I'd be the tiebreaker, but there's still you to vote. Okay. Yeah, I'd say commander.
All right. I tend to agree, actually.
I don't have him in hand yet, so I may love the fig more once I get him.
He's not Crocmaster. He's not the Bat. He's not an Alley Viper, but he's Destro.
Okay.
Yeah, it's that strong. But next up is the Red Ninja, the first army builder of the classified line. People tend to forget. Joe Colton, you're our lead Red Ninja correspondent.
Oh wait.
So I love and don't like this figure.
Love and don't like.
Yeah.
This
Okay.
is
I
what
love
it's
it
like.
as a Red Ninja, but then I'm like,
Joe, this is what it's like to have kids. You'll always love them, but they will disappoint you.
Hello, Dave.
I'm like,
We are finally all well. Go ahead.
I don't know. I definitely not top 2. Definitely not.
Okay, so you're maxing out at mercenary, is what you're saying.
Yeah.
Okay. Rack
Just
time,
because
Rob. What do
it
you think? Of
comes
the Red
with.
The thing I like most about the Red Ninja is that he is a new design on that character, on that particular trooper, as opposed to just being a guy in his red jammies.
Right.
Yeah, but like the head bothers me a lot.
I like the head.
Wow.
Yeah, I like the head too.
That skull mask, the blank dead eyes.
What do you think, Mark Weber?
I like that because Red Ninjas originally are just Storm Shadow painted red, basically. I like that they got their brand new own look. And it could have been just about anything because it didn't have to mirror anything to me. So I like that they went a little bit nuts with just making him his own dude. So I would have been okay with lots of different kinds of Red Ninjas here. And this one is fine. And I like that. And I think it's a little bit cover your show because the Red Ninja isn't a lot of people's favorite troop builder, that this guy was not that hard to find.
Yeah.
And I thought, because the whole line was red hot, I thought troop builders were going to be a nightmare for collectors. So the fact that the first one wasn't brutal to find to build a couple, if you wanted that, I was happy about that. And I thought that was a harbinger of good things to come. It actually wasn't as far as troop building was, but it gave me hope at the time. So I think he's good. I don't think he's great. I would drop him right in the middle.
I agree. Draws Walker has one of my points. They could have done weapon storage better. He's got a lot to carry and not a lot of places to put things.
I think I'd have gotten rid of that gigantic sword because there's not a good place to put that on him anywhere.
Yeah. But it's
Like,
I
I
do
like
like
the redesign as well, but I don't know. There's just something about him that isn't great.
I like
you
the
gonna play
design.
Final Fantasy?
I figure I can't go below mercenary because I did sign up to buy the blue repaint. So he's a mercenary.
How's he going to play Final Fantasy without a giant cloud sword?
Right?
Yeah.
Up next is regular Storm Shadow.
As opposed to unleaded Storm Shadow.
Yes,
Hey,
No,
did
as
we
opposed
forget
to
the
not-
Arctic Storm Shadow?
he's a Joe.
He was sold as a Cobra.
No, he had a Joe package.
No, he had a Cobra pack.
Well, then I don't care about him. So
I mean, that design's a Joe.
I thought I just put him into Joe's. I didn't think twice about it. Anyways,
Joe.
moving on. Here's regular Storm Shadow. Can't fix it now. Don't know why you're shooting your mouth off. Terrible podcast.
Oh,
Nobody lets me see this stuff beforehand.
Oh, what? Shots
here we go.
fired.
ready? Fight!
No Storm Shadow. Rob, yours just came in the mail, man.
Yeah,
You like him?
he's neat.
He's neat.
He's
That's
neat.
why we are the highest paid influencers on the web.
Right. That's why nobody subscribes.
No, I really do like Storm Shadow quite a bit.
He's pretty fantastic with his posability and all the great weapons he comes with. And
Yeah.
if I've criticized Classified for being too retro inspired, but holy cow, if they're going to do Storm Shadow like that, then at least they're doing it right.
Yeah.
So, I mean, as just straight up as a toy, this guy's a commander.
That's a pretty definitive looking Storm Shadow. I mean, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember the original Storm Shadow. I remember that giant square cut right in the middle of his white gi. That's my only argument. Other than I think the hood's a little wonky.
Yeah, but it comes
But you
off.
can take it off.
Yeah, and that's fine. So I'm glad, even if it's wonky, they didn't have to give it to you.
Yeah,
So it's removable, fine. But this is one of the guys I think suffers the worst from that brutal chest cut. Just it's almost neon in the middle of that bright white figure, and for me that marks him down. I look at him and he's not quite on the level of those other fine folks and lady up there on that top row. Maybe I'm the only one.
Does anybody agree?
It's like a thumbprint.
I basically, with all the Marvel Legends and stuff like that I think I've just kind of just come to accept it as the way it's kind of cost of doing business, the way they currently construct these figures.
It doesn't have to be.
Clean sheet, Storm Shadow.
Doesn't have to be, right?
His glory.
Rob, all that evil needs to win is for good men and women to do nothing.
But what's better?
Not having it? A waist pivot that does the same damn thing? Or what McFarlane has done with the spine underneath the softer plastic? There are ways around it.
Those McFarlane chest cuts are worse.
A lot of them are, but like the red strike guy that's my archetype. Like, they can be done. It's like if someone in 82 going, these Joe figures are great. And somebody says, what if we could swivel the arms? And they're like, bah! This is the best figure. This is the only way to do it. It's not the only way to do it. Do better. It looks like on some figures, particularly knights, robots, women, you can hide it. And on some guys like Destro or Snake Eyes, when it's a black colored figure, it hides better. But there ain't no hiding it on bright white Storm Shadow. It looks awful. Right in the middle of an otherwise perfect figure.
Joe Self says, wait until he turns yellow in 3 years.
Right. And then he's European Blizzard?
European Blizzard. Tiger Force, European Blizzard.
Joe Colton, what do you think?
For brutal chest cut or
it's the chest cut power hour.
That's right.
See, I have a tough time tagging this figure for that much because it's not. I mean, that's just how they are. I'm kind of like Rob at this point.
You can't tell me that Storm Shadow looks as good as the rest of the top row.
Yeah, I can.
Yeah. I'll be honest. The butterfly shoulders bother me more than the chest cut does.
Yeah, there's that too.
And they don't bother me that much because he can do cool ninja things.
Is he Major Blood good?
No, but he doesn't have to be Major Blood good.
Is he that good?
Again, Mark, you're pulling off the top of the list to make your argument.
Yeah,
no, I'm saying that's why he doesn't quite measure up.
I mean, he's not necessarily Major Blood or Bat good, but he's probably Baroness good. He's probably Destro.
No, get out. He's definitely officer, like a high officer.
All right.
I'm just saying, commanders for me are figures I wouldn't make any changes to at all.
Yeah.
I got two that say officer, and I myself have things that I don't like. I gotta go officer. Sorry, Rob.
He can be the best officer by far. I'm not pooping on the fig.
Yeah. Oh no, he's got that. That's I mean, and no slight to the other figures in the officer line. He's the best on the officer line.
But if commander is chef's kiss, if commander level is flawless, he's just a little bit shy.
Yeah.
All right. Fair enough. So that brings us to the Cobra Trooper. This is the Target exclusive guy that caused rioting in the streets.
I didn't got one. Just
rioting in the streets. That's I came of age on that one app that tells you what Target's got in stock. Right with this guy. Ooh, looks like they got one. Roll out to the Target that's 20 feet behind us.
Nope.
There he is. Yoink.
Oh yeah, it worked well.
It did that time because it was the first wave. The Beachhead and Cobra Trooper wave. Those guys. It said it was there. It was always right there. No problems finding those guys. But yeah, afterwards when they started hiding the stock numbers, that wasn't so good after that. Anyways, going back to the figure itself. I think they did this guy a little bit better than they did the general issue one, and they should.
Yeah.
I don't think he's quite a commander, but he's probably kind of like Storm Shadow, where he's real close, but not quite. Anybody?
Yeah, he's one knife direction placement
Right.
from being commander potential.
Right.
So, that bothers me more than Brutal Trescan, but
It's terrible because it's just wrong. It would have been hard to get that right. Hey, Cobra Trooper, on your left. What? Oh.
Losing teeth. Cobra Trooper looks good. Pegs on those guns. I agree.
Yeah.
William J. does have a good point. All the weapons do store on the figure, so it's got that going for it. That's a positive, certainly. And again, certainly not a bad toy. Not a bad toy.
No, it's a very good toy.
But I think our Trooper is an officer.
Yeah.
Okay. Up next, we got Mark's favorite, the Viper.
Yeah, the one that made me divorce Target.
Right. Mark Weber, what do you think of this figure minus all the Target drama?
I like the pig a lot. I think that's partly why I threw a
He
fit.
gets upset.
Threw a fit about it. But it was more semantic than that. The only thing I don't like is something other people have mentioned about it. I don't like the exposed neck, the flesh-colored neck, because it's not accurate to the original. And if you cover that up, then this guy is 100% covered, and he could be any racial makeup, right? So that's my lone complaint. It's a very small one. But if I'm saying Commander is flawless, then this guy would be an officer for me. Very, very good.
Rack time, Rob.
I agree on the officer. Yeah.
Joe Colton.
Officer.
All right. You all right there, Joe Colton?
Yeah, I just couldn't stop sneezing.
Just having a moment. All right.
I didn't think you guys needed me to see me like going.
Plus, Wes is watching Never Ending Story in the next room. That always gets it.
Up next, we got version 1 Zartan, the guy who does not change color. And he'd have been riding the line between officer and commander for me, but really the guy after that kind of goes hand in hand. So for these last two, since we're running out of time, can we agree officer for Zartan and commander for chameleon change color Zartan?
I think that's totally fair.
Yeah, because like I said, Zartan's only an officer because they made a better one later.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
All right, because Master Disguise Zartan is amazing.
Yeah, that is a top-notch figure.
All right, there you have it. Lots of commanders on this one, lots of officers on this one, but classified's real good.
Yeah.
So if you're not in, get in. That's the definitive list right there, folks. Definitive.
Yeah, if you're not in, you might be too late. I mean, you can start now, but could you imagine trying to back collect these things? Ooh.
All right. We're running long, so let's go right into shout outs. Rack time Rob, shout it out.
Shout out to the audience out there. Thanks for watching.
We appreciate you, especially on the third time this week. Good Lord.
Yes.
Yeah, there's some of these names I've seen all 3 times.
What's on Joe Mind Maniacs?
That's another great list. You're right, and we're all wrong. We know. We know.
Thank you, Joe.
Why we're here.
We know.
Think of all the things you had wrong before we set you right.
Right.
No charge.
It's
no
definitive.
charge. Yeah.
What else you got, Rack time Rob?
Let's see, a melancholy farewell to Sonny Corleone, Paulie Walnuts, and Corporal Agarn.
It was a rough week. Rough week
Yeah.
for celebrity deaths.
That's just in the last 2 days.
Yeah. Yeah. James Caan, Larry Storch, and I can't remember that guy's name because he's just Paulie Walnuts.
Yeah.
He's Paulie Walnuts.
Yeah,
Mark Weber,
always
shout
remember-
outs.
Well, happy birthday, America, or ungrateful colonist day, as they say in England. And one of my very best friends in high school, Tim Gates, born on the 4th of July. So they always give him a fireworks show to celebrate. So kudos to Greg, to my old buddy Greg Rivers, and to our I would say partners, but our friends with their successful Kickstarters this week. Right? It's always good.
Yes.
To see good people with great ideas getting their Kickstarters funded. So kudos to the After Action Report and to Operation Recall. Very, very exciting time. I mean, I think the fans put together some really good stuff that would have got us through, but the Classified series is doing all sorts of good things too. So it really is a great time to be a Joe fan, other than as the stink of the Snake Eyes movie fades away. Probably the best time in the last, I don't know, 7 years, 8 years? Since Retaliation, probably. Since the promise of Retaliation, right? It's the best time to be a Joe fan since then. And there have been some slow and dark years. So, it's a good time.
Since the day before they said they were pushing the movie back.
Right, for 3D reshoots.
The post-Mark Webber era.
Yeah, just saying.
Joe Colton, shout it out.
So I'm going to give a shout out to Hasbro for producing a great HasLab product for us to buy in droves. And
yep.
So you listened to the community and we responded in kind by buying and buying and buying. Shout out to William who joined us tonight. Thank you.
I know, like he's too good.
To the hubby, Wes Whitlock.
The wristlock, Wes Whitlock.
He helped me with my costume and finishing that on time, and even though he didn't have faith, I finished. And then all the very tired and exhausted workers in DC who have been trying to just make things better for people. Like the unsung heroes that are just running around and are completely exhausted. And
it's a tough gig. And you're not going to say it, but you are one of those people. And that's why you were not joining with us this past week and all the good fun. You were certainly missed. We appreciate the job that you're doing.
Thank you.
And we want you to know that we're all counting on you.
God, you shouldn't.
I'm going Leslie Nielsen on you here. So give a quick shout out to everybody watching us live. We do appreciate you. If you're watching us on recording, we appreciate you too. We love everybody who tunes in and whiles away the hours with us. We love you. We wouldn't do it without you. If you have a moment, if you're on Facebook, go ahead, give us some kind of a reaction. Give us a thumbs up, give us a heart, give us a little huggy guy, because we love little huggy guy. If you're watching us on YouTube, go ahead and like the video, subscribe to the channel, leave a comment, do all the cool YouTube stuff, because all that's going to help us get into the algorithms and all that scientific talk. But really, the thing you can do to help us out the most, regardless of who you are and how you listen to us, go to YouTube, subscribe to the channel, watch the videos there. Hey, go to bed and just play our playlists. Go for it. Let it play overnight. We don't care. There's no quiz afterwards. Just do it. We'll cheap into cheap views that way. Go for it. It's fine. It's fine. The more people watch without us having to say anything, the less work for us, and we're all about that. Mm-hmm. But want to give a shout out to you guys, to Mark Webber, to Rack Time Rob, to Joe Colton. Thank you so much for doing this week after week after week. As Mark said, to our friends, Josh Eggebein, Roger Taft, Carson Metaxas for their very successful Kickstarter efforts. Josh and Roger winding it up. Carson getting it kicked off. Head over to Kickstarter. Check out Operation Recall. Want to give a shout out to our good friend, Hooded Cobra Commander 788. He's over in the chat. He is the guy who brings together COBRA Convergence every year. We're back after a 1-year absence this year from doing it, but this is COBRA Convergence 6. Somebody's doing something new every single day in July. It's all Cobra themed. Well, most of it's Cobra themed, but the idea is to be Cobra themed. We shared today with a gentleman who does the blog Snuva's Corner Cafe. This was our entry, but there's great stuff every single day. here in Cobra Convergence all month of July. Be sure to check out Hooded Cobra Commander 788. Check out his channel. Give you all the lowdown and give you lots of fan entries and bonus material, and you can't go wrong. Yeah, we got dice, but Articulated Points will have an episode because Phil Donnelly is going to be that guy. Thanks, Phil. Anyways, that's all we got. We're going long, so we're not doing what we got in. Stop it. We'll do what
that's why I snuck it in.
We'll do what we got in next time. But for my co-hosts, for Mark, for Joe, for Rob, I'm Mike Irizarry. Thanks for joining us here on What's on Joe Mind. We will see everybody next weekend, next Friday at 9 p.m. For another exciting episode. Until then, have a great weekend. Stay safe. Keep yourself healthy. And yo, Joe.
Love a bear.